Pcgtv. In that light, there is light.
Hello out there. Welcome to Pcgtv Sports Time with Jerome. Here again I come to you with an interesting conversation on our sports, the development of sports in Ghana. And today we're at the University of Ghana campus to speak to one man who knows maybe not all, but so much about sports and its organization and its governance. I'll go for a short break. When I come back, I'll introduce him and the show continues. Welcome back. For our scripture for the day, I take you to Acts chapter 5. Acts chapter 5, verses 39. And where it is written, "But if it is from God, you will not be able to overthrow them. You may even find yourself fighting against God." This is an advice that Gamaliel gave to the priests and the leaders when they sought to fight or stop Peter and John and the apostles from preaching the word of God. They had done so many things against them after arresting them. And Gamaliel's advice was that, look, either you let this man go, or if you are not careful, you may be fighting God. Two other people came, and we know how it ended. So truly, truly, if these men are from God, you may not be able to fight them. Let them go. If they are not from God, they will go as the others did. But we are from God, and we are going to do this as long as God gives us the strength to do it. We go for another short break. When we come back, the show continues. Welcome back. As I told you earlier, we are on the campus of the University of Ghana. And one man who has been doing so much in terms of advancing knowledge and ensuring that knowledge is transferred to all who are interested in the running of sports in the country and beyond, get the best of knowledge. I'm talking about the Director of Sports and Wellness at the University of Ghana. I'm talking about Dr. Austin Lugutera, the Director of Sports and Wellness at the University of Ghana. Doc, thank you very much for allowing us space into your office.
Thank you so much, Jerome, for having me.
Yeah, I have to say I am very honored to have you because not everyone will open up to journalists like the way you have done. I mean, I spoke to you a couple of days ago and you said, come on, you can come around and let's have a conversation.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, and I'm excited because I always think that we should have conversation. I always open my doors for anybody who wants to have conversation in terms of sports. Because, I mean, there's nothing to hide. We just want to contribute our quota to development of sports.
Your reception is great, but not so great is our sports organization and the way the sports in this country has been governed. If you are asked, and I'm putting that question to you, what would be your assessment of the state of sports in the country?
Retrogressing. And I think that we are further to go more down. And I think that even the crop of players we have now, I'm talking in terms of soccer or even all the other sports, are the last batch of good players we'll be having.
What should be done to reverse the retrogression you see?
And I want to hammer more. Okay. You know, when I say the last batch of people we have, if you want to look at it from Stephen Appiah&Co's time, if you look at it, the graph is just going down. Okay. If you study it, the graph is just going down. And it has gotten to a last bottom. After this batch, we don't have any backup that will fill it up. Where's school sports?
I don't know.
Where is school sports? And these are channels that will help us build to the future. They are not there. So if they are not there, where's the backup? So that's why I'm saying that it's yet to go down more, and we'll see it in future. We have missed things that were used to be done earlier. If we want to go back, I wouldn't even want to go back into colonial times. From Nkrumah, everything that was done to project the country through sports. Hence the name Black Star. Okay. The Star of Africa. Because Nkrumah wanted that thing to be that, let's get through to the people, let's announce our presence as independent country through sports. So all structures were put in place. Subsequent government, even the military government, Achampong, came and did his own. Things were done. School sports was going on. Co sports was going. People, despite the fact at that time, knowledge was not so high. By the enthusiasm of people was the factor that was ruling sports. Now it got to a level where now we've commercialized sports. Commercialization of sports comes with its own issues, if not managed well. Commercialization goes with governance. You get that? If you don't mix it with governance, then we'll fill our pockets. That's why we miss it. If we start filling our pockets, sports will go down. And for us, back to the question, what do we do to let it come back? Unless we go back to understand that we have started something without understanding it. Let's understand what we are doing. Let everybody understand that sports is not recreation again. Okay. We have moved away from the, in primary school, they ring bell, it's a recreation, please. We have passed that level. It's business. Sports is a product. It is packaged, marketed, and sold. The TV rights we watch, they are product being sold. Is that what it is? Good. We talk of how's it called, multi-choice and the rest. They package the sports as a product and sell to us, and we subscribe, we buy. Yeah. What's the media doing? Media is marketing sports. It's a product. That's why we have marketers, sports marketers. But until we get to that level, there's always going to be a fight. Because you are doing your work, somebody's thinking, no. You are not supposed to do what you are doing. Because his mindset is thinking that I'm using this to get money in my pocket. There's no governance.
So how now I'm interested in, yes, we are retrogressing. I asked, how do we stop it? You said we have to go back to understand what we are doing. What we are doing now is that we don't seem to understand the fact that there's now a change from sports as recreation to sports as a business. Yeah. If this is what must happen, the question then is, how do we do it?
Advocacy matters, stakeholder engagement matters. In anything you want to do, stakeholders matter. Who are involved? Because if I'm going to do something and I don't understand it, I'll be doing it my own way. Yeah. So for us to even understand that we have moved from this level to another level, it needs to be engaged. We need to engage people to let people understand that it's no more about open the gate and let me enter. I pay to enter. It's not a matter of now sitting back and say I support this team. But it's just that I'm a stakeholder and I contribute to the development of that team. Until we get to that mindset, we're just going to be a cycle. You see, I remember there were instances, we had this governance lecture I organized in Kumasi, a short program, and I made a statement that you with your money, you think that you have money to get a team. You bought the team. Immediately the team gets to a community. it's no more your team. It's the communities. Because the community person will walk there and say, your team. Yeah. He won't say you, your team. And when they come to watch the match, they will now come and assume themselves as supporters of the team. Yes. To the extent that they will be telling you, sack the coach. Yes. To the extent that you'll get to a level and say they should sack you yourself.
Yeah. Even though you may have set up the team.
They will sack you because it's no more like yours. The stakeholders are huge than yours. And I make that statement all the time. You have invested in your money. They have invested their emotions. They may not have the money, but it has to get to a level where you all have to have a conversation to say that go beyond emotion investment and invest in the building of the team. It's conversation. People understand.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you mentioned two things, engagement and advocacy. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, Doc is going to elaborate more on the point about engaging and advocating. Welcome back. Before the break, Doc was talking about how we have to engage people for them to understand the changes that have taken place in the world of sports and where Ghana is and where Ghana should be. Doc, I like the point about engagement, but you also mentioned advocacy. I'm thinking they are not the same, are they?
No.
Okay, so how different is advocacy from engagement?
You know, there are people who are good like media. There are people you have to, like the media, you get them involved in everything you want to do. The media is virtually the eye and the ear of people where you can go. You get that? There are a lot of things that you can do to let people go beyond normally engaging them one-on-one, because with the engagement, you are expecting Q&As or Q&As. You ask, I answer, we create a platform that you understand me. If things you don't understand, you question and I give. There are instances there you can even put a leaflet somewhere. You can make some arrows. You can make some, some drama. You can make some other things that will translate to sending information to people. You get that? For example, anytime we have these new roads, we can have that kind of directional signs telling people this. These are all things of advocacies. You get that? And advocacy can take a period. It can take just not even now, it can take a whole long period of time. So when you combine these two, you are using two edge, thinking to achieving the same results, because we have gone so down that you can't just hammer on one angle to say that I want to let people understand issues of sports. You have to go beyond. And it's not, you see, the person to initiate it doesn't understand, because his concept about sports is also different. That's why we need to do this double-edged thing, because government itself doesn't understand sports.
Because I was going to ask you, who is going to do the engagement, who is going to do the advocacy?
Yeah, government itself doesn't understand sports.
So in this case, who? Government?
That's what I'm saying. That you see, when we start the engagement, like we're doing now, we get many people talking about it. We've started engaging. It gets to a level that someone will just say, okay, let's have a roundtable talk. We get to that level, let's have it means someone says it's getting critical. Let's have a conversation. When we start having the conversation, then there, out of it, we can now drag government in. Because I can tell you for sure that many people at the top there don't even understand sports. They are just given the opportunity, be there. He gets there, he's confused.
And they also see it as recreation and nothing else.
That's why I say it's more confused, because the person leading is confused. Then
you definitely be confused.
Good. Then we have people who have seen themselves as landlords of the space. So when ministers come, they are able to maneuver around and misdirect you instead of actually telling, because they also don't know, they misdirect you.
Yeah.
So you told their lie, and they also continue that cycle. And this has been happening years and years over.
Look, if you say the people themselves don't know, it clearly signals a knowledge gap. How do we fill that gap with the requisite knowledge to drive people, whether advocacy or engagement or whatever we need to do to get people to understand? How do we do that?
You know, the sad part of it is, you know, the structures of the ministry. The ministry has 3 agents: National Sports Authority, National Sports College, and the Youth Employment, something agencies. Good.
Why yeah?
Good. Interestingly, National Sports Authority is older than the ministry.
Yeah. In terms of when they were established.
When they were established, their operations, knowledge.
Okay.
So when even we say National Sports Authority is spoiled or is dead, then ministry.
Yeah.
You can see the link.
Yeah, I get it.
Good. So it becomes difficult in this space. That's what I'm saying. Unless, of course, when things are spoiled, it's basically based on engagement and having communique. All the other institutions or all the other sectors have a way of, all the time, every year we present. They present a communique to this, they do this and that and that. Where is sports?
But who should be doing that? Who should be leading that conversation?
Here.
Okay.
Yes, I had a conversation. I mentioned to Carl. I met Carl with one of our programs, and I mentioned to Carl, let's start something.
Okay.
Because apart from awards, apart from the normal games we have, we don't seem to be looking organized.
Yeah.
We seem to be looking disjointed in our own field, because a media house is here talking for himself, another media house talking for it, and the politicians are happy in that, because the more you look disjointed, they are able to operate.
Yeah, the more they can maneuver and do whatever they want to do
against somebody.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have that voice that speaks and say that we're speaking to power and we are coming out with this for government to follow. Government may also be sitting there and thinking that, okay, we are not having people around to talk to us. Because the person, you per se or me, who will talk individually will not go far with it. But let's imagine that we have a forum, we have a conversation, then at the end of it, there's a communique on policies, on structures that we present. It makes meaning than to sit down at our own base, and talking about international sports. Manchester has beaten Chelsea, and this person has done this, whilst we are saying another person is countering what you have said on a different radio station or TV station. It won't lead us anywhere.
You know, my fascination has been, should I say, triggered by the mention of the 3 agencies: the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Youth Employment Agency, or it used to be National Youth Authority, and then the National Sports Authority. If we are all into sports, I'm thinking that we should all be on the same path, the same page, such that if the NSA is doing something, the Ministry of Youth and Sports knows what it is doing. If the youth aspect are also doing something, all the 2 other bodies are on the same path with them. That is not what I see here. So much so, if we are talking about the management of our sports infrastructure, for example, recently there was something like a collision course. We saw the NSA on one path saying their own thing, and we saw the Ministry of Youth and Sports also saying another thing. At what point should these agencies come together to drive the agenda of sports?
I think it's a matter of power play, because per their structure, they all have their roles to play. So, for example, the Sports College, Winneba, is designed for human resource development or sports personnel in the country. It was designed to mimic GIMPA.
I see.
So if you pick their ally that established it in 83, it established it to work that so that all these things, development and the rest will be done. It's not working.
I may be wrong, but looking at the optics alone, GIMPA appeared to be in glowing light.
Because they are working according to their establishment.
So why is the national
good? It's the lot of politics at a point in time. It lost its focus. Instead of following its course organization, it turned up into soccer academy. That's where it started veering off. Now from soccer academy turned up to renting the hostels,
which was more like a narrow
good
view of what they are mandated to do.
So it started veering off. So as it's veering off, National Sports Authority too was seen as a political hub throughout the years, where people who are just guru boys, political boys are fixed there. So it's not a matter of getting competent people who are actually
those with the
expertise to go there. And we also have an instance where we have sports enthusiasts who happen to find themselves through that area. So you get National Sports Authority operating as an independent type of person, the ministry also standing alone. So that is where you sometimes get that conflicting thing. Because National Sports Authority, I guess, based on where they are coming from, because they see themselves as older. Yes, because ministry came in 78.
This is way back
in the colonial times. You get that? So you get that kind of behavior where people say, oh, we do what we want to do. We are the organizers of sport, blah, blah, blah. And this person to say, okay, we are the policy implementers. But the thing is that ministry is veering off from its behavior like the policy hub into practice.
We'll go for another break. I mean, the conversation is getting very interesting, especially with the mention of the National Sports College. I have a lot of interest there. We'll go for a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask Doctor what should be done to get the National Sports College back to where it should be. Let's go and come back later. Welcome back. Before the break, Doc was talking about the seeming conflict that arises between the NSA and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He also mentioned the National Sports College, who appeared to have taken a different route to what they are mandated to do. Doc, the last time, and I always talk about this, the last time I visited the sports college, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy in the sense that I thought that if we have a National Sports College, it should have certain things. It should look a certain way. For instance, if I'm to take a football pitch, for instance, I didn't like the standard or quality of football pitch I saw. Now, I'm learning a lot from our conversation here that the National Sports College should focus on what it's mandated to do. How do we get them to do what they are mandated to do? And I was just saying that I saw that, I don't know whether he's the new director, Baf Hussein, yes. An excellent personality when it comes to this game. How do we get the college, for instance, to function as it should be?
Interestingly, when Bauer got the position, he got in touch.
Nice.
So we have a conversation.
Nice one.
So we started talking about it because I've been passionate about that area. And I'm seeing it that because I've written a paper on that, that if you look at virtually the time GIMPA was established, was virtually the same time
I see
National Sports Authority was employed, was designed. And the focus was just that GIMPA take care of the public sector, National Sports Authority, National Sports College take care of the sports section.
I see.
Interesting, that was the same time most Ghanaians were leaving Ghana 83 for greener pasture. And most of our sports experts left.
I see.
So this one was done to be the hub, not only for Ghana, for Africa.
Interesting. In the 70s?
In the 70s. It was in the early 80s. And it was done just so that to take care of Africa. So we became the hub that people could come. So by now, per structure, National Sports College should have been doing charter
I see.
So I've been chattering in sports.
And now it can't even take care of Winneba. Talk less of the entire country.
No. So initially I started with coaching courses, programs, and that was how it is. So if you look at the LI that established it, it actually spelled it out for human resource development.
I see.
It's there, clear, unambiguous. So at a point in time, they left it, that whole beautiful thing, and now veered into a narrow aspect that was meant for the private sector, setting up of soccer academies. Setting up of soccer academies meant for the teams and for pest people, not government.
And that's even only one aspect of it.
No, good. And they took her from that time, they started veering off to extend that all the facilities that are put there that are meant for hosting programs, just you see how Gimpato had hostels. It was built to host courses, so it could be year-round courses running. This same model was mimicked in Papua New Guinea.
Wow. Papua New Guinea.
Same thing we have mimicked in Papua New Guinea, which is running. Same model. The only thing they change is just to change Ghana to Papua New Guinea.
Interesting.
And it's running.
So Papua New Guinea will be able to run this because knowledge and expertise and commitment of the
good. And the person to first head it there was a worker there.
Interesting. From Ghana.
From Ghana, a lecturer, Winneba, who just left Winneba with the same idea, went there to establish.
This is the first time I'm hearing this. I mean, Ghanaians are competent enough to run institutions outside the country, but not competent enough to do it home.
I'm sure you've heard of Leipzig.
Yeah,
Germany. So the University of Leipzig has a program that they run year through. So if you go to their webpage, you can see program they will run even 2026. And that's how Winneba is supposed to be, to run programs so that you know that when this one is finished, this one is coming.
So how does Mr. Bawa Fusaini and his group of people who have taken over now bring us back on track?
Yes. So we have discussions, and I mentioned before this conversation that we'll be starting some professional diploma courses, which I designed and submitted to him to look at professional diploma in coaching, professional diploma in sports management. If you look at the sports space we have people who haven't had that background of these courses, and they don't have that, the SSC background sort of thing, but they are very knowledgeable. So you create a space in such a way that you can roll into these courses, professional level, which is more academic, it's more professional. They can move it and line up with their own courses. Yeah, so these are things that he's going to run to the ministry to see how they can get it accredited. We'll be running a course. One of the courses is going to have next week in athletics, basic athletics, and I'll be going there to teach sports management. Just next week, they are having it. And there are things that he's putting in place because I'm focused. I just told her, run it, let it go back to its own story. Like somebody will say, local balance, do lane. Yes. Be in your lane, focus on it, and see that you establish this based on its structure. You'll be judged by that. Absolutely. Because whatever you are doing is veering off. You are satisfying personal things. But do the thing, at the end of it, Ghana should have people, because we have enthusiastic people in the country. Somebody realized, okay, I haven't gone to school, but this is the area I want to be. He needs some more information about the area he's in. Where is the facility? Our universities, our entry point is degrees, this type of qualification. But this outfit is supposed to be a place that those who can go through a normal level could also pass to achieve their dreams and get professional certificates.
You know what? This conversation cannot be exhausted in 30 minutes. Doc has been so kind to us to give us another 30 minutes. What it means is that we are going to end the conversation here, and hopefully next week bring you a second part where we'll be delving deep into the issues he has raised. On that note, I will thank you for joining us on this edition of Sports Time with Jerome on Pcgtv, where we say, in thy light, there is light. See you again next week.